I'm going to introduce these girls. I'm going to bring them to the line. The first person I'm going to bring to the line is somebody who I've been working very closely with. She is such a rock star. I don't know if you guys know about the color code, but in the color code, she's a yellow. And guys, I'm a yellow. So you put two yellows together. I was just telling my husband the other day that we have so much fun when we talk to each other because it's literally all we're doing is like yelling over each other. Like that's our phone call conversations. Like we're just like loud and yelling over each other, but we do get a lot accomplished, and I feel so grateful to have been connected to her. So I'm going to bring her to the line right now. She is a team leader, Platinum 1. Guys, she is crushing. This woman has taken hundreds, she can qualify us on the number, but of people through the 5-day drop within just like the last 8 months. And what I want to do is I want to bring her to the line, and I want her to share her story of how she found herself here and what's been working for her. So let me bring her to the line. What's up, Ashley? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing awesome. Thank you. I do have a quick question. It's like raining here, and I just want to make sure it's not too loud. If it is, I'll have to like go somewhere else. But is it too loud or is it okay?
I can't hear the rain at all, and I can hear you loud and clear. But I'm sure Sean will let us know if the connection's not good. But Ash, wasn't that so funny that I told my husband that when we're on the phone with each other, it's like all we're doing is like yelling over each other?
My husband makes fun of me because if you get like two ADHD brains in the same room, like there's never a pause. Like there's never a pause. We just go da 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 da, and I'm like, yeah, that's true.
It's so true. But I really, I love your vibe, and you have had some great success with taking people through the 5-day drop one-on-one. Can you just share with us your number of people, or how many times you've taken people through the drop?
So, yeah, I've taken at least 200 people through the drop, and it was all – so prior – I shouldn't say all of them were one-on-one because I've been doing this now for like a month or so with you. But prior to that, it was all one-on-one, and I was using, like text messaging and just checking in one-on-one, which was actually really awesome. I'm not going to lie, it was great. But there was a huge missing factor. And when I started talking to you, and actually right prior to talking to you, I was like, I'm going to start doing this. And then you were so in line with what I was already thinking, and then opened up my eyes a little bit more to your duplication system. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is perfect, because I was looking for a way to build community. And I already know, like, the 5-day drop gives amazing results for people. So they're already, like, super hopped up on the results, which I love. But when you have an amazing community, and if somebody walks away after getting great results, but also feels connected, loved, celebrated, and overall has an amazing experience, that's the missing factor for having them to organically want to go out and share with others. It's one thing to just get your results, but it's another to like feel really good about yourself and feel uplifted and loved on, and then you're going to tell other people. Because if you just got results like by not eating for 5 days, you're not going to go out and tell everybody, right? But if you get your results while eating, while having a great nutrition plan, great supplements that taste good, and the experience is amazing, then they're going to go out and share. And so that was a huge missing piece of it.
Well, I love hearing you explain it. We just got off of a 5-day drop, and we had such amazing success. And, you've come from weight loss yourself too, right? So it's just like, I want to give everybody that point of reference that you have literally, you've been in it for like over 10 years, I think 12 years you had actually been with Beachbody doing challenges. So why don't you just touch on it just a little bit? You're kind of preaching to the choir here because we're all here in Modera, but it's still great to hear people's stories. So can you just touch on like what you used to do in Beachbody and kind of like why you came over to Modera?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so in Beachbody, I was there for like 12 years. And I basically, like, bled Beachbody blue. I was all in, right? Absolutely loved it. And we ran our challenges. But when we ran our challenges, they were, 30 days, 21 days, 60 days, 90 days. They're long, right? And so it was way more difficult. And from a duplication perspective, if you're helping someone through these products, through these, like, journeys that are so long, in their mind, they immediately take themselves out of the game. Immediately, they're like, yeah, I can't do what you do. The amount of times I have been told I can't do what you do, I mean, like the entire time, which is one of the reasons I decided to leave, because it's not duplicatable. Sure, you can find one person here and there who's going to be like, yeah, I'm a rock star, I can do that. But I love the baby steps, first of all, of being able to, in the duplication system that you have set up for the 5-day drop, in being able to baby step someone through the process. And when it comes to 5 days, 5 days is incredible. To be able to like get amazing results in 5 days and then have a duplication system around it, so awesome. So that was one reason that I left Beachbody and was looking for something else, because it really, truly is hard as heck to build a team of people when all your customers are saying, I can't do what you do. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, because of that same sentiment, it was hard to have your team rank advance. It was so difficult. And so I found myself succeeding and not my team, which is definitely not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to help. I wanted to be able to tell somebody, hey, you could do what I'm doing. You could stay home with your kids. So, like, for me, I was able to, and one of the reasons why I even got into network marketing is because I was on track to be a financial planner, a certified financial planner, and I already had a child at this time, and I was getting married, and I said to my husband, right after going to school, getting a finance degree, signing up with like a financial firm, getting my licenses and everything, and I'm sitting there in bed, and I looked at him, and I'll never forget it, and I was like, hey, I have something to talk to you about. And he's like, what's up? I'm like, I don't think I want to do this. After all of that, like, stuff that I put, all that time and effort I put into everything, and I said, listen, we already have one child and we want to have more. And what I don't want, not that the work doesn't bother me, but what I don't want is to put in 50, 60, 70 hours a week to set up a business and not see my family. Like, I want to prioritize my children. I want to be able to see them. I want to be able to be there for events. I want to be able to be there for their school events, for field trips, for this and that, and also build a business on the side. I don't think I want to be building a financial firm that I'll be tied to, chained to, whatever the word is. I remember sitting in the cubicle at the time when I was getting things started, and I remember looking at the panes in the glass and totally thinking that they were jail bars, like cell bars. I hated it, and I did not want to do that. I wanted to live by my priorities. I wanted my children to have the best of me. You know what I mean? And so that's why I got out of it. So anyway, when I got into network marketing, I was able to work on the side. I was able to build a business, something I was proud of, on the side. And so I told other people that. I'm like, you can do this. You can have this awesome side gig, business, empire, whatever it is that you want to build, and you can also live by your priorities. But when I in Beachbody, I wasn't able to give them that. It just wasn't working. So I wanted my team to work. I wanted them to be able to and make more with something different. And so that's when I was introduced to John Melton and the team and Modair. And when it finally clicked was when I knew I could continue to give my customers the best experiences and results with Modair instead of what I was doing. And when that clicked, I was like, I'm in. And what I realized is when I moved to Modair, not only could I help my team win faster, but I actually was working less and making the same amount right off the bat. And I also, at that time, chose to homeschool my 11-year-old. So I knew that I had to, I wasn't going to be able to put as much into it. And so that blessing of being able to work less but make the same and now more was just icing on the cake. It was huge.
Well, thank you for sharing. Yeah, well, thank you for sharing your story, because I think everybody can pull for the reasons why, especially the ones pull for the reasons why they found themselves with Modair. And I feel like what you said is so true, right? You're in another company. People look at you and they say, I can't do what you do. And that can be very frustrating. So then you come over to Modair, and then Modair has this amazing business model where it's you can play in whatever lane works for you. So, I know for you when you first got started in Modair, because, we talked about this before. And for me, too, it was the same thing. It was very freeing to be able to just kind of work with customers and still earn a great income. and then, identify like the people that wanted to do the social retail thing. But then now, 8 months ago, we got the beta release of our 5-day drop. And then, after that, last year, we all got kind of like acclimated to what this drop was. Everybody kind of did it their own way. And then now, right, going into 2024, we actually see this very simple duplication system that has been working to do all the things that we want to do with people, which is, number one, support them to making the healthy lifestyle changes so that, as an effect, they drop the weight. And shout them out and make them feel loved and give them the support they need, but we get to do it in these little 5-day bursts, which not only works for us, right? It works for everyone. Like, it works for them too. And it works for the new people that say, hey, you know what? I can do that too. So it's just such an amazing business model that I'm just loving to be a part of, this duplication system with the 5-day drop. Can you close off by just kind of sharing some of your successes? I mean, you've taken this last drop, you had 12 people. Whoop, whoop. You had 12 people on this last drop. So can you just share whatever experiences you had, if there were any like aha moments or just what you're loving about it, or do you want to share experiences from the people that you've been, you've taken through the drop? Just go ahead and share.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to start this off with telling you that I was so resistant to this. Well, I was so resistant to the whole system, and I know that sounds terrible, but I'm going to be real, right? I was super resistant. And not only was I resistant to me, I'm like talking to my husband about it. I'm like calling John Melton. I'm like, I'm resistant, right? I'm just, but I listened, and that was the biggest part. I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to Brandy and hear what she's doing, right? And then here's the thing. I listened to Brandy. I was building trust and all that. But what really, I'm somebody who's like, I want to take action on something that's working. And you had the results. You were showing me, like, listen, these people just got started in October. They did the drop. They're sharing organically. They're bringing other people on organically. They started asking you, how do I share this? How do I do this? How do that? When somebody's starting to ask you, what's the next step? Well, how do I get more people on here? Blah, blah, blah. Like, then it's working. You know what I mean? And then you're ring advancing people. And I was like, okay, I know I'm being stupid by resisting. I'm just going to do it, right? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go all in. So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring all these people into the drop. I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to bring 12 people, more, the next one I'm sure I'll work on having the same amount or more. And what I found is that it kept me, as the person bringing them in, it gave me this opportunity to celebrate them more, which was so awesome. Like, I felt good being able to celebrate people in front of others. You know what I mean? When you're working with somebody one-on-one, you're not celebrating them in front of others. And then you're, like, just sharing the results to your stories, and then you're like, well, did they find this? Okay, but I still do that, by the way. But I'm just saying that was the only celebration I was doing in front of other people. Now I get to have, like, a whole community of people celebrating my people who are getting amazing results, and I get to help all the other social marketers celebrate their customers, which is so flipping awesome. I love it. So that's number one. Number two, I find that it's so organic, like people sharing, and then wanting to, like, because they had such a good experience, wanting to go out and tell other people. Super amazing. Not only that, but I got messages from my social marketers who brought people into the drop, into this chat that we did, the system, and they're messaging me, telling me how much they loved this, and they can't wait to get more people on the next one. And, like, I'm not even reaching out them, like, trying to pull teeth. And I had a mentor once that said you can't nail Jell-O to a wall, and you can't push a rope. I just thought those were great. Anyway, but, like, so you can't pull teeth, right? You're not pulling teeth here. People want to do it. Like, they're asking you. So including my customers, my social marketers, like, everybody in the system is asking me, what's the next step? How can they do more? How can they bring more to the drop? How can they bring them to this experience? And now my customers are starting to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do the next one. And because we're all working together as a team, I don't have to be the be-all, end-all. That's the other thing. Like, I love that. I love being able to work as a team. I love being able to see Brandy posting in there, and I love being able to see Darylyn and all your social marketers are super awesome. I absolutely love all of them. But we're working as a team, and this is what it's about. Like, being able to support your customers being able to support each other, your team being able to support the other people on the team, and everybody just in this beautiful community, loving on each other, and it makes everything work so much better, and you don't have to pull teeth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're preaching to the choir here. I just got a reference when you said, like, you were resistant, and you finally did it. You had to deal with me too, because I'm like, once I feel like resistance, I'm like, okay. But we did our social experiment with each other, the both of us, and we're two yellows, and we said, you know what, we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna push through, and I will tell you that, like, you got it. Like, you're such a smart person, and you come to us with knowledge, you come to us with experience. So I do appreciate you, doing what you did, just being willing to take that dive, even though you're like, I'm not sure, and I know that, the experiences that you've come from too. I mean, obviously, you wanted to make sure that, I wasn't going anywhere, and I'm like, no, we're here. We're lifers together. So in 2024, I see that we're going to be creating this huge community. We're going to duplicate, like, the heck out of this thing. We're going to have drops and drops and drops. And I don't know, by the end of 2024, I can just imagine how many pounds and inches we're going to take off of people. Isn't that exciting?
I'm all in. I'm all here. I'm in for it. I'm here. I'm super psyched, and I'm just ready to serve and duplicate and have the time of our lives.
I love it. Love it. Ash, you're the best, man. Thank you so much for starting off this call. Now the second person